Ganito kasi pare, I'm not saying harassment is ever justified. It isn't. But we can't deny that clothing does influence perception. Studies on human psychology show that visual cues affect how people react, lalo na sa mga lalaki. If someone is dressed in a way that society reads as provocative or revealing, it can trigger unwanted attention. Pero that doesn't excuse the behavior, but it suggests clothing does play a role in the chain of events.
Yun na nga pare, that's exactly where the danger lies. The second we say clothing plays a role, we're implying victims are partly responsible. Harassment isn't a chain of events na nagsisimula dahil sa pananamit. It's a decision made by the harasser. Plenty of women get harassed in uniforms, in hijabs, in baggy clothes. Yung constant factor ay hindi pananamit, it's the person choosing to harass.
I agree, harassers carry the blame. Di naman natin sinisisi yung mga victim. But don't you think environment and signals matter at least a little? Parang sa workplace, kaya nga may dress code to reduce distractions. Isn't that an acknowledgement that clothing can change how people behave toward each other?
That's not the same as causation. Dress codes are about appearances, not about preventing harassment. If harassment were tied to clothing, then conservative dress codes would eliminate the problem. And they don't. Harassment exists everywhere, across cultures and dress standards. Blaming clothes is like, sinisisi mo yung bahay, bakit kasi siya may bintana? Nakita tuloy yung 62-inch Samsung TV niya. Nanakaw tuloy. The real issue is the robber.
But what about perception? If certain clothing increases the likelihood of attention, isn't that still a factor na dapat nating pag-usapan even if it doesn't transfer responsibility?
Ang perception kasi ay kung paano ka tignan or ano ang tingin sa'yo ng mga tao. We can discuss perception without mistaking it for cause. Clothing might change how people look at someone, but harassment requires intent and action. Di dapat natin ilayo yung responsibilidad from the harasser. If we start treating clothing as a cause, we give perpetrators an excuse, and society ends up policing women instead of men's behavior.
Think about how setting changes perception. In the workplace, halimbawa, dress codes exist for a reason to maintain professionalism and reduce distractions. If clothing had no impact, companies wouldn't spend so much energy enforcing these standards. Parang sa school din, rules about skirt length or appropriate attire come from real experiences where clothing was seen as contributing to tension or harassment. At sa online, sa TikTok halimbawa, when someone posts revealing photos, they're far more likely to get harassing comments compared to someone who doesn't. The setting makes a difference, but clothing always plays into it. Parang ganon.
I think that's a surface level reading. Halimbawa na lang sa sa schools, the strictest dress codes don't stop harassment, they just punish girls. Sa katunayan nga, studies show girls of all ages get harassed regardless of whether they're in sweatpants or skirts. Gayun din sa workplace, women in conservative outfits still face harassment, even in environments with rigid dress codes. What those policies actually do is shift blame onto victims. Habang yung mga manyak naman, they adapt and keep doing what they do. Pagdating naman sa online, harassment is less about the photo and more about the platform culture. Trolls harass women, kahit naka-bikini or
But
naka-hoodie.
numbers don't lie, pare. Platforms themselves report spikes in harassment on content that shows more skin. It's not that trolls never harass modest accounts, but the volume and intensity increase with revealing posts. That suggests a correlation between clothing and harassment, at least in online environments.
Correlation isn't causation. Yung mga revealing posts might draw more views overall, which increases the chance of harassment. Hindi yung clothing ang cause ng harassment, it's exposure plus misogyny. I know karamihan sa mga Pilipino ay hate na hate nila yung word na yan. Misogyny means nothing sa mga taong nasa conservative at Christian country. If someone wants to harass, they'll find a reason. Clothes just become the excuse. Tignan mo yung mga babae na naka-hijab online. They face relentless harassment too, but the insults focus on religion or culture instead of outfits. Harassment changes its target, not its existence.
Okay? Fair point. Harassment finds a way. Pero pwede ba natin isipin na acknowledging the role of clothing in different contexts helps people make informed choices to protect themselves? Isn't it pragmatic, even if not ideal?
That argument sounds practical, but it kind of normalizes harassment instead of challenging it. Sinasabi kasi natin sa mga babae, adjust your clothes to avoid danger instead of telling men, wag kang manyak, may nanay ka, may kapatid kang babae. Context may shift the form of harassment, but it never proves clothing is the cause. It proves harassment adapts to whatever's available.
Culture definitely shapes how clothing is read. Sa ibang lugar na a sleeveless top is completely normal, as in others it's controversial. That shows clothing has social meaning. And when social meaning shifts, harassment risks shift with it. Hindi nga siya universal, but we can't ignore that clothing signals things within a culture. Kapag ang bihis ng isang babae ay, in a way, clashes with the local norm, they're more likely to face backlash or harassment.
Exactly. Parang you've just proven my point. If the problem changes depending on the culture, then clothing itself isn't the cause. It's the cultural lens. Women in conservative societies still face harassment even when fully covered. Nag-iiba lang yung target, katulad ng their voice, their presence, or even their body shape, kahit nakadamit ng maayos. So if culture dictates how clothing is judged, blaming the clothes is misguided. The root issue is how societies police women, not what women wear.
Hindi ba ang ibig sabihin niyan ay women have to be aware of their cultural environment? Like if freedom of expression is important, but if dressing against cultural expectations increases the risk of harassment, isn't it smart to adjust?
That's like saying, huwag kang magdala ng cellphone sa school, baka manakaw. The responsibility shouldn't fall on the person with the phone. It should fall on the thief. Sure, people adapt for survival. Pero di ibig sabihin nun ay dapat na nating i-validate yung system that blames victims instead of changing cultural attitudes. If harassment exists across every dress standard, the problem is the mindset, not the wardrobe.
Gayunpaman, culture and perception play such a strong role that pretending clothing has no impact feels unrealistic para sa akin. Even if harassment is wrong, perception is part of daily life. It influences hiring, respect, and yes, harassment. Culture makes clothing a factor sa ayaw natin o sa hindi, di ba?
Totoo naman na perception exists. But that perception is learned, not natural. We can unlearn it. Walang lalaki na pinanganak na bastos at walang respeto. The ethical danger is when we confuse perception with justification. Once you say clothing increases harassment, you give cultural bias a free pass. And that's exactly how societies end up policing women's bodies. Mula pa nung panahon ni Eva at Adan.
I think we have to be careful, but not silent. Acknowledging that clothing might contribute to risk isn't the same as excusing harassment. Magkaiba po yun. Halimbawa, we warn people not to walk alone sa mga madidilim na eskinita. That doesn't justify muggings. It's just acknowledging reality. Kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko, talking about clothing as a factor could be framed as awareness, not blame.
Malaki kasi ang pagkakaiba nun, pare. When we tell someone not to walk in a dark alley, the danger is external and impersonal. When we say, "Wag mong isuot yan," we're shifting focus from the attacker's choice to the victim's body. That's why it slides into victim blaming so easily. Harassment is an action, a choice someone makes. And the ethics demand we hold that person accountable, not the outfit.
Kung humingi sa akin yung kaibigan kong babae ng advice before going to a club, am I wrong to say, uy, ingat ka, yung suot mo baka mag-draw yan ng unwanted attention? Isn't that just me being protective, not blaming?
Bilang kaibigan, you can warn out of care. But at the societal level, kapag ang institutions, schools, or ang courts saying the same thing, it reinforces the idea that women are responsible for preventing harassment. Yun yung delikado. That's where it crosses the ethical line. Protectiveness on a personal level is not the same as policy or cultural norm. And I hope na let's not make it a norm.
So wait, ang sinasabi mo ba ay intent matters? So bali personal advice is okay, but systemic rules or public discourse that tie clothing to harassment become dangerous?
Tama yon. Because ethics is about impact, not just intent. And the impact of saying clothing contributes to harassment ay napipressure ang mga babae to self-censor, while perpetrators get a silent pass. If we want to shift culture, the ethical choice is to reject any framing that puts even 1% of responsibility sa mga biktima.
Pero kung di natin pag-uusapan yung about sa clothing, aren't we ignoring part of the lived experience? Para sa ibang mga babae, adjusting what they wear does reduce harassment in practice. Shouldn't we acknowledge that reality even if we reject the blame?
We should acknowledge their choices without turning them into moral obligations. Pwede naman natin sabihin na some women feel safer dressing this way. It's fine, kapatid. Pero saying harassment happens because of clothes is the ethical problem. Subtle lang yung pagkakaiba, but it's everything.
Let's be real. Institutions always look for practical fixes. Isa na nga doon yung dress code. Sa school naman, for example, they argue it minimizes distractions and keeps focus on learning. Sa opisina, formal attire is meant to signal professionalism and reduce boundary crossing. Sa Facebook, Instagram, or sa TikTok naman, platforms already moderate images to fit community guidelines. Lahat to ay nagpapatunay na regulating clothing is seen as one way to reduce harassment or at least reduce opportunities for it.
Ang problema lang kasi is the evidence doesn't back that up. Dress codes don't stop harassment. They just punish women for what they wear. Gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, harassment happens in uniforms, in conservative clothes, everywhere. Real solutions are cultural and systemic, educating boys about respect, enforcing workplace harassment policies, designing reporting systems that actually work, and punishing the perp. Pag sa online naman, better moderation and accountability tools do more than any restriction on women's outfits.
I'm not against cultural fixes, but they take decades. Isn't it worth using clothing guidelines as a stopgap habang hinihintay natin magbago ang society? Even if it doesn't eliminate harassment, if it lowers incidents in the short term, di ba mas okay yon kesa wala?
Ingat tayo dyan. That sounds practical but it's a trap. Because once you implement clothing rules, society stops pushing for deeper change. Walang magbabago, mas mag-a-adapt lang yung mga manyak. Schools keep telling girls to cover up, and they always do, instead of teaching boys not to harass. Workplaces keep judging professionalism by skirts, instead of by respect. Sinisisi natin yung maruming tubig sa gripo, hindi sa kung sino ang naglatag ng mga pipes. Short-term solutions that blame clothing only lock in long-term problems.
So ano dapat yung realistic plan? People keep harassing despite policies. Are you saying we just trust that education will fix it?
No, we push for layered solutions. Dapat strong enforcement of anti-harassment laws, real punishments for offenders, bystander training, better security systems in place like CCTV, and more street lights or parking lights, more police visibility, anonymous reporting channels, platform-level tools online. These approaches actually target harassers, not victims. When society takes harassment seriously at the source, clothing becomes irrelevant.
So you're saying the real dress code we need isn't about skirts or shirts. It's about teaching respect?
Exactly. If we want practical results, stop regulating women's bodies and start regulating men's behavior.